Hi, this is Ambika, Assistant Professor, Department of AIML. Let us discuss about Introduction to Dependable Systems and Attributes. So let us go for a small recap. So software systems are nothing but the process driven, and the failure of the software mainly it focuses on the users, and also it causes impact on the business users and the society. So let us go for the building the software that is can be trusted by the users. So that is nothing but the dependability system. So why we are going for the dependable systems? So it is mainly for preventing the critical errors, for the user trust and acceptance, economic and reputation management. Also the system should operate without any errors, and it should be efficient as well as, and it should follow some rules, standards, and also some practices. So the dependability is mainly focused on preventing the failures, and it also minimizes the impact when the failure occurs. So what is a dependable system? It's nothing but creating a software that is trusted by the users with the correctness, consistency, predictability as well as the trustworthiness. So the importance of dependable system. So it is essential in the safety critical system, mission critical system, business critical system as well as the AI enabled systems. So we will be following some consequences or will be facing some consequences in case of the poor dependability, like system outages. That is the system it gets crashed even in case of any failure, and it also leads to some data loss or corruption, and also some safety hazards will be followed if you don't follow some policies or practices. Some penalties will also be given, it will be assigned by the users. So core attributes of the dependability. It focuses on four main pillars: reliability, availability, safety, and security. Reliability is nothing but that is you are ensuring the system it works for a specific period of time without any errors. So here example, if you consider the online banking system, it should work without the crashes during the peak hours. So it mainly focus on the metrics like mean time to failure. So what do you mean by mean time to failure? This is nothing but we are measuring the time that how often the system it works without any errors. So here the formula used is it is a ratio of the total operating system to the number of units. So the higher MTTF it indicates a longer lifespan and also it leads to the higher reliability. Availability is nothing but it measures that how often the system is operational and also accessible to the users, even in case of the failure. So it is a ratio of the actual operating time to the total expected time. So it mainly focuses on uptime and downtime. Uptime is nothing but it is a measure of the time that it refers how often the system is operational and also accessible to the users. Downtime is nothing but it is a measure of the time that is the system is not available for the accessibility of the users. That is like the system is out of action. So the availability formula is total uptime equal to total time minus downtime. So availability equal to ratio of the total uptime divided by the total time. Next one is availability is calculated using two metrics, mean time between failure and mean time to repair. So mean time between failure is nothing but how often the equipment is operating between the breakdowns. And mean time to repair is nothing but measuring the system that or the time taken for the system to recover. So the higher MTBF and lower MTTR it leads to the higher availability. Next, high availability system it includes banking servers and cloud platforms. So it can be achieved by the techniques like redundancy, load balancing, failure over system as well as the clustering. Next one is safety. So it is nothing but we are ensuring the system it operates without any unacceptable risk or harm. That is, it mainly focus on preventing the catastrophic consequences. So even in case of failure, the system should not harm the users. For example, if you consider the medical infusion pump, in case of the partial failure of the system, it should deliver the correct dosage. The safety critical systems it includes aircraft control system, medical infusion pumps as well as the autonomous vehicles. So here it also leads to the hazard avoidance. We are going to avoid the hazards, how to detect and remove, and also it focuses on the damage limitations. Next one is security. It mainly focus on the protection of the system against the unauthorized users and also the attacks and data breaches. So it includes the confidentiality, integrity as well as availability, and it is a supporting attribute for the dependability. So dependability threats includes false. So it may be the defect of loss either in hardware or software. So like example, coding errors, design flaws or some incorrect requirements. So the failure is nothing but in case of the failure, the system behavior will deviate from the specification. Next one is how we are going to achieve the dependability. So like fault prevention. So we are preventing the fault during the development phase itself by formal specification, using some applying some coding standards and also training the developers. Next one is fault tolerance. So it's nothing but even in case of failure, the system it ensures the operation continuation. Like it can be achieved by redundancy, exception handling, as well as the graceful degradation. Fault detection and removal. So here we are detecting and fixing the faults before the deployment, and it can be achieved by verification, validation, and also some testing and inspections. Next one is fault forecasting. Just we are finding the probability of the faults, using the techniques like risk analysis and reliability modeling. Here is a little comparison on dependability, security, and quality. So dependability focus on trustworthiness, security on protection from the attacks, and quality is the overall building of the software. And mainly the dependability focus on failures and risk, security on threats and vulnerabilities, quality on performance and usability. So mainly the attributes of dependability will be safety, reliability, and availability. In case of the security, we should focus on confidentiality and integrity, and the quality will be based on functional and non-functional. Some real-world examples are aviation systems, banking systems, healthcare systems, and AI systems. Thank you.